why don't we just start with the facts?
It's called The Second Woman. I still want to call it the 24-hour woman, because that's what happened. It was a woman, it was 24 hours, it was Ruth Wilson, and she was amazing.
We're back here, like we're literally back where it all started.
Yeah.
And now we've finally managed to get our lives together so we can actually figure it out.
Exactly. That's 2 other seasons. It was the spring, so it was May when we came here.
Okay. And it was, I remember lots of pink and orange flowers.
Yeah. And it was a lovely day. So we saw each other literally the day after. So I went on the Friday night, or Friday afternoon, for the opening at 4 p.m, I think it was, it started. And was there for 6 hours or something, and went home, got some sleep, and then got up very early in the morning, like when it was still dark, and walked back into Waterloo to go back in. And I went with a friend of mine who lives locally and wakes up very early in the morning. And we ended up queuing for about 3.5 hours to get back in.
Were you encouraged or not encouraged to take pictures during that performance?
Yeah, no, we could. Yeah, we were able to. So not during the performance. So not while she was actually in her 15-minute
circuit.
Well, there's 7 minutes of dialogue.
Right, and then 7 minutes of the cleaning up.
Yeah, so during that bit, we were able to take photographs, but not during the dialogue.
When there was the opposite person.
Yeah. She was on stage for 24 hours without a break, without any kind of break. And the way it's a play by 2 Australian women, and essentially it's a 7-minute scene on repeat 100 times. It is mind-boggling.
It just also sounds like truly exhausting. And I guess when we were having this conversation back in May, there was so many questions that I think both of us had just around, like, actually how on earth can one literally do that on, surely there's a point that you reach in a performance like that where you get a bit mad because you've been doing it at that point for 14 or 16 or 18 or 24 hours.
Yeah, and I think she did. Yeah. I think we saw a bit of that. So what I found fascinating by seeing the first sort of 6 hours when she was fresh, and then coming back how many hours later it was. So I think we got in at sort of 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning on the Saturday, and she definitely lost the plot a bit.
At that point.
Yeah, and which made it more funny in a way, because her tolerance levels were much lower.
Yeah.
She was much more sarcastic. She was ad-libbing a bit more.
Yeah,
so the way that 7-minute scene works is that her part is scripted, and the man's part is scripted, but there's room for ad-libbing. Yeah. So she doesn't always know what's going to come. It's some of his interpretation.
There's so many, like, even now, like, it's been a few months since we've talked about it. Like, even now, I'm noticing myself having, like, observations and questions, especially around, like, a piece of theatre like this one. And I guess part of the reason we wanted to do this was because we are 2 Australian women.
Yeah.
It's not like we would come up with something like that, but there's so many layers and facets to a performance like that. And I was even just thinking when you were saying that, like, if the men get to have, or the opposing player gets to have a little bit more freedom, is that also like a bit of commentary about like how women are supposed to just do the same thing 100 times and not get mad whilst throw random crap at them all the time, and they just have to like go yes, no,
and say really patronising things and take advantage as well of the situation.